Everybody can cut down your chipboard pieces to 9x7 for your front and back cover. And your spine is going to be 5x9. Anyways, to cover our chipboard, we are going to take our two big pieces of chipboard and you are going to glue one side and you want a good generous amount of glue. You don't want too many spaces in between your glue so you don't get bubbles in your paper and your covers. And then you lay this down on your 12x12 cardstock sheet that you chose and lay it in the middle. Kind of flatten it out. If you want to go over the front, you can. Using a bone folder is a good one to do over the front of it. Kind of get it really in there. And you're going to do that same thing to your second large piece and your 5-inch by 9-inch spine. Glue one side and put it down. And once you make one of these journals, you can make a ton of these journals. You can make them however you want. And use your imagination, have fun with them. You can make your spine a different size. You can make your journals a different size. All the wonderful fun stuff you can do with these. Thank you for the follow, Cheryl. And you get your second one done. And then you come in and do the spine. I was sitting here before we started trying to figure out my lines on this to help with the grid because folding this one isn't going to work since we're doing 13 signatures in here. Catherine did that the other day and I was like, why have I not been doing that? For some reason, I always start doing things and do it a difficult way first. And then I'll find somebody that's like, oh, that's so easy. Why haven't I been doing it that way? And we lay the spine on just like that. Hey, Tara. So this is Fabri-Tac. Anyways, so we have all three of these done. So you have your chipboard glued to your paper. After we do this, you're going to take all 5 of these and right where your edge of your paper is, we're going to go in this corner. We're going to cut down almost to that edge and then go around and up. So you leave a tiny space about the width of your chipboard from here to that edge in that corner. And then you're going to go around to the other side, kind of do the same thing over here, leave a tiny space and go up. It's fine to do this, Ginny. You don't have to wait for that. You should be able to pick this up without it moving or anything. And then you're going to cut this side and do the other side like that. Especially if you're using Barely Art, you should be able to do this without it shifting or anything. And then you're going to do that to all three of your pieces. I'm going to kind of go through the edge and go up. So you have that. Just leave that tiny little space right there. Tammy, it does not. That is your preference. However you want your book to look is however you decorate it. So whatever cardstock you use is whatever color you want. Normally I would use black on mine just because black makes a really good edge when you add decorative paper to the front of yours, which you can do if you're going to do that. I believe I did say to bring your decorative paper in the video because that's usually how I do it. I'm going to do it a little differently today, but I'm still going to tell you guys how to do that, and that's pretty simple. You're using white. You know, it's amazing how fast the cardstock goes bye-bye when you're making projects. I'm constantly buying black and white cardstock. Mostly black, though. I like using black. Anyways, so we have all of those cut down. So let me know if you are not ready to move on yet. Okay, we'll wait a couple minutes for everybody to get this done. You're fine, Candace. Brown cardstock. I don't usually buy brown cardstock. Hey, MB. Oh, thank you for the heartbeat. Hey, Manners. So, okay, Ginny is ready. Is there anybody else who is not ready to go on yet? How you doing, Candace? Oh, thank you for the teddy bears. Look at the teddy bears. Thank you, Cecilia. Still gluing. That's okay, Candace. Just fold them like this. So after you glue all of your cardstock or your chipboard to your cardstock, you're going to go in at the edge of each of your sheet. And you're going to cut it like this. And you're going to leave just ever so slightly a tiny bit right here that's about the width of your chipboard. Carla, my friend Catherine is going to help me figure out how to download this from the TikTok studio. So I should be able to post this on my YouTube channel. So hopefully there will be a replay. And to join for future projects, just follow me and I will post them in here on my wall for future projects. And I usually post them about 3 weeks before I do the project. So there's 3 weeks that people can look at what they're going to do and then get all the supplies that they need. I usually do about 1 live tutorial a month. Very welcome. I mean, I don't think I have every tutorial. There's so many. It's amazing. Okay. So after we have cut all of our corners and glued our pages for our chipboard to our cardstock or our pages, you're going to take your spine, which is the one that's 5 inches wide by 9 inches tall. You're going to set that one aside. We're going to do that one last. But you're going to take your other 2 pages and we are going to take the edges of our pages that are sticking out and we're going to kind of fold it like this and do that, get the edge a little bit, and then you're going to put glue on this edge and on that flap. Let me move this. I keep moving my screen. Gotta make sure you can see what I'm doing. And then you're going to fold this over nice and tightly. Take your bone folder and kind of get this on the edges, and then go against the edge, come down, and that's just to make sure everything is straight down there, and then get it all pushed down. And if you have glue oozing out, that is okay. And then you're going to do that to all 4 sides on your front and back cover. And your front and back cover are the ones that are 9 inches tall by 7 inches wide. All 4 sides on the front and the back cover that you're just going to glue like that. And this sometimes can be a little bit of a tedious part of it. But making journals is a very fun project to do. I think it is. And then you lay this down on your 12 by 12 cardstock sheet that you chose and lay it in the middle, kind of flatten it out. If you want to go over the front, you can. Using a bone folder is a good one to do over the front of it to kind of get it really in there. And you're going to do that same thing to your second large piece and your 5-inch my 9-inch spine. So we have all 3 of these done. So you have your chipboard glued to your paper. After we do this, you're going to take all 5 of these, and right where your edge of your paper is, we're going to go in this corner. We're going to cut down almost to that edge and then go around and up. So you leave a tiny space about the width of your chipboard from here to that edge in that corner. And then you're going to go around to the other side, kind of do the same thing over here, leave a tiny space and go up. It's fine to do this, Ginny. You don't have to wait for that. You should be able to pick this up without it moving or anything. And then you're going to cut this side and do the other side like that. Especially if you're using Barely Art, you should be able to do this without it shifting or anything. And then you're going to do that to all 3 of your pieces. Very welcome. Annette, I don't think I have every tutorial. There's so many, it's amazing. Okay. So after we have cut all of our corners and glued our pages for our chipboard to our cardstock or our pages, you're going to take your spine, which is the one that's 5 inches wide by 9 inches tall. You're going to set that one aside. We're going to do that one last. But you're going to take your other 2 pages, and we are going to take the edges of our pages that are sticking out, and we're going to kind of fold it like this and do that. Get the edge a little bit, and then you're going to put glue on this edge and on that flap. Let me move this. I keep moving my screen. Got to make sure you can see what I'm doing. And then you're going to fold this over nice and tightly. Take your bone folder and kind of get this on the edges, and then go against the edge, come down, and that's just to make sure everything is straight down there, and then get it all pushed down. And if you have glue oozing out, that is okay. And then you're going to do that to all 4 sides on your front and back cover. And your front and back cover are the ones that are 9 inches tall by 7 inches wide. All 4 sides on the front and the back cover that you're just going to glue like that. So the spine we're going to do in a second, Tracy. In like 1 second. Here we are. So for the spine, you're only going to glue the top and the bottom flap. The same exact way, but just the top and the bottom flap. Okay, so after you glue the top and the bottom on your spine, you are going to flip this over like this. A lot of people type in spirit, not realizing it's not spirit. And you're going to take your bone folder and right along the edge, you're just going to push it down right along the edge of your spine. Don't rip your paper when you do this. If you do it a little too hard, depending on your cardstock, you can rip it. So be delicate when you do this. So that way you have a little crease right in there on both sides of your thing. So to move on to the next step, you're going to take one of your covers. We're going to lay it down like this, and you want all your glued sides facing up. You're going to take your spine with one of your flaps. We're going to fold our flap down, and you're going to put glue all on that flap. Jeannie, I ripped mine this tiny bit right there as well, so we're good. Just like a tiny little bit. After you put glue on that flap, yes, and if you have printed print on your paper that you're using, make sure it is facing right side up when you do this. You want to make sure all your stuff's facing the right way. So after you put your glue on there, you're going to take your cover on the left side. And remember, the right is going to be the back and the left is going to be the front cover. And you're going to line this up with your spine. So your top and your bottom is lined up. And you're going to push it together and then close your flap like this. Make sure they are flat on the table when you do this. So you put it together just like that. So then this opens like this. And then you're going to take, oh, I got too much stuff on the table. And you're going to take your second piece, which will be the front cover, and you're going to do the same thing on the left side. You're going to fold your little flap over, put a bunch of glue on it. Line it up, push it together nice and tightly, and then fold that over. I just had that last night. Oh, put it right next to me. After you do that, we're going to take our, let's see if I can zoom out more. I cannot. Okay, let's push this up here. So we're going to take our duct tape and we're going to make pieces that are long enough that overlap these two flaps, but they're at least an inch from the outer edge of our thing. So we want the duct tape to go to about here. And you're just going to make a long strip that goes to about there on both sides. And we're going to put that up towards the top, but you want it to be about 1/4 of an inch down from that top, or 1/2 inch down from the top. 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch down below from the top. And you want it to go a little bit over this flap. And the reason we're doing this with the duct tape, or whatever tape you have to use for this, is it adds a little extra reinforcement for your journal, so it will last longer, because we are using paper. And if you are unaware, paper does break down. It does take years for it to break down, but it does break down over time. So if you want these to last as long as they can, do a little reinforcement. And we're going to put another piece below that. And I'm just going to do that going all the way down. So I'll probably do one more piece going down here. It's so sticky. You know what? I think I'll do 2 more pieces. Line that up with that one, and I'll do 1 more below it. So you can do 3 or 4 if you want. It all depends on how many you want to put there. Why is this not working? And it's such sticky freaking tape. You don't want any bubbles and creases in your tape either. After you get your tape on there, you're just going to go right here in the crease with your bone folder. Just kind of go down there. Not too hard, but just a little bit. Makes it so it's easier to turn your pages. So you should have what looks like this. A nice, cute little journal with cute little sides. Why is my thing? I'm going to have to put a little glue in there. Where's my glue? Where's my glue? Did I drop it? I dropped it. Anyways, we need a little glue in here. Oops, I put too much glue in there. Too much glue. glue, baby. Too much glue. We don't want it squishing out of there. Okay. After you get that on there, like that, on your pages or your cover. So, are you talking about your pages? We haven't even got to that part yet. If your pages are too, oh, you have overlap on your cover. That's okay. Everything is a learning curve. Um, there's every once in a while when I make one of these, every once in a while, and those ones never go up for being available to others, I'll have a tiny little overlap and it's annoying. But everything that you make is a learning curve. So just keep it in mind the next one that you make. And it is just going to have a little extra character, Queen. That's all. Just a little extra character. So after we do that, we're going to cover the inside. And then we're going to make the pocket that's going to go on this side. So to cover the inside, you're going to take your 12 by 12 cardstock and you are going to place it up towards the top, not at the very top. And we're going to put just ever so slightly below the tippy top, right in the middle. And we're going to take our bone folder and right at our crease here, you're just going to go down like that. And then at your other crease, you're going to go down like that. And then we're going to take our pencil. We're going to keep holding that in one spot. Don't let it move. And we're going to make a mark where we want to cut this right here at the bottom. And then you're going to cut that straight across at the bottom. And then you're going to fold right there and right there where you have your little creases out. We're going to flip it over. That's frustrating, isn't it? And you're going to glue this backside right here in the middle. And then we're going to place that right there on our spine, right where we want it. And when you do it, pull this right side over and kind of push this a little bit against it so you can get that so it's lined up really, really good. And then let that middle dry. And then we take our other sheet. We're going to come over here. And we're going to line it up with our black sheet that we just put in, or whatever color you just put in, right on the edge of it. And we're going to mark right there where we cut it going across this way. And we're going to mark right here at the edge of our page where we're going to cut it going down. And that is going to go right here. We're not going to put that on yet. If you want your corners rounded on this side and this side, you can round the corners on it right there. I like to round my corners, but I think today I'm not going to do that. But anyways, we're going to put that there and leave that there because we're going to glue that on after the middle of this dries. And we're going to take our paper that we just cut something off of, or the other side off of, and we're going to do the same thing for the left side. Line it up right there with the edge of your paper. Mark where you want to cut it down here and up here. And you're just going to cut it ever so slightly less than your cover. Not right at the edge, but a little bit in. Just ever so slightly. And if I could see my lines, there it is. And that one is this side. So What we're going to do now is we're going to make a pocket, and we're going to let this middle part dry before we glue the other sides on. So to make a pocket, you're going to take your other piece of cardstock, black or whatever color you chose for your pocket, and you are going to take your scoreboard, and here is my ruler. I keep placing things in places they shouldn't be. Okay, I found my ruler. Okay, so these two flaps, you're just going to take your paper and line it up. Push this down, line it up, mark it at the bottom, and then on the side where you need to cut it. So then you know that you have your little piece that you're going to put right here in the after we glue these pieces down. So it's just the other piece that's going to cover your inside cover. If we had, yeah, if you want them to overlap, you can have them overlap. If you don't want them to overlap, you just line it up with the edge, just like that, and then mark it where you want to cut it. It all depends on how you want to design your journal. So you can overlap them if you want, and then you can leave them that way if you want. We're going to let the dogs in real quick while you finish that, and then we will make the pocket. And the pocket might seem hard, but it is not. Hi, pups. How's the puppies? It's just the look of it, Candace. It all depends on how you want it to look. If you overlap it, it's not a huge deal. It all depends on how you're doing it. I'm just doing it that way. If you want, you can just glue this side down and then cut one that's as big as this paper to just go on top, if that's how you want to do it. I'm just doing it this way because it uses less paper. So if you have a decorative piece that you're going to put on the inside to decorate the inside, you can just put that right over it if you want. It's all up to you. Or you can do it this way. Anyways, and then we're going to take our scoreboard and our extra sheet of paper that you're going to use for your pocket, and we're going to decorate this pocket. You're going to take your ruler, and we're going to measure our book just to double check, even though we know it's 7 inches wide, because sometimes when we're working on stuff, we get a little lost in our own thought, and we can screw it up without realizing we've screwed it up. So we know that from here to here is 7 inches. So we want to give about 1/4 of an inch from here and 1/4 of an inch from here in, so 1/2 inch total. So we're going to do this pocket 6.5 inches wide. I just started the pocket, Tracy. We haven't got there yet. So you're going to get your scoreboard. Good morning, Emertella. You're going to get your scoreboard and your extra piece of cardstock for your pocket. And we know that our journal is 7 inches from here to here in width. So we're going to make our pocket 6.5 inches because you want to go in 1/4 of an inch from both sides. So we're going to go 6.5 inches. So you're going to take your 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, put it in your scoreboard. You're going to line it up on the right with 1 inch. And you're going to find the little scoring thing that you forgot to take out wherever the heck you put it. And where did I put it? Why did I not take that out yet? Okay. Sorry, guys. I thought I was ready. You always forget one thing. One little thing. And then you can't find that one little thing. Where did that go? I know I just had it. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, there it is. I knew I had it. If it's a little more than 7, that's fine. Just make sure you have 1/4 of an inch from this side and 1/4 of an inch from this side in. So, and you're just going to do 6.5. It's totally fine. It's still going to look just as good. Okay, so we're going to take our 12 by 12 sheet and we're going to put it in our scoreboard. And we're going to line the right side up with 1 inch, with 1 of the inches over here. And we're going to go in 1.5 inches and score it. And then from that score line, and just so you know, I'm counting because I have a love-hate relationship with my scoreboard and I hate this scoreboard. So I am counting from this score line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go into the 5th one and then score there. And we're going to count 5 for every one in between our score lines. And the reason I do that is because this thing is, I just don't like this particular scoreboard. My other one is totally accurate. This one is not. So we're going to pull this over and line that scoreboard, that score up with one of our inches, that last score. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1/2. And we're going to score it right there at 6 and 1/2. And then from that score line, you're going to count over to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Score it again. And then we're going to turn this over. And we're going to decide how tall we want our pocket. So for this, because this is 9 inches tall, I think we're going to do a pocket that we have enough space in. We're going to do 4.5 inches tall. 4. Actually, we're going to do 4 inches. So after we have turned this over, okay, Tracy, so you're going to count 5 score lines. So when you have it and you score it, you're going to go from that score line that you just scored, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the 5th one over. Thank you for the follow, Brett. The cutter that has the scoring device. If you're using the cutter that just has the scoring device on it, just do 1/4 of an inch. Just ignore me counting to 5 and just do 1/4. So you're going to score it, and then you're going to go over 1/4 of an inch and score it again. Basically, 5 score lines on mine is 1/4 of an inch. And the reason I do this is because this scoreboard is poorly made. And the score lines in the lines on here are not actually lined up with the actual score lines they need to be lined up to. That's why I'm doing it this way. So 1/4 of an inch for every 5th score line. And the only reason we're doing this is because this is going to be a 3D pocket. So Tammy, to recap, you're going to put your paper in your score line. You're going to line the right up with the inch. You're going to go in 1.5 inches and score it. And then we're going to go 1/4 of an inch over from that. And if you're like me and have a crappy scoring board, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 score lines over. That's 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to line that last score line we did up with the inch, bring it over here, and then you're going to count 6.5 inches over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1/2. Score it there, and then score it 1/4 of an inch from there, or 5 score lines over. I know it's confusing. I have to get a new scoreboard so bad. Anyways, after we do that side, we're going to turn this around. So our score lines are now going this way. And now from this side, since we are doing a 4-inch pocket, we're going to go in from the side 1 inch and score it at, actually, don't do that. I need to redo mine. I thought you were counting ruler lines. No, I was counting score lines. Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse everybody. I'm on here so often, I just automatically think everybody knows my scoreboard sucks because I always talk about it, and sometimes I forget, oh wait, not everybody knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, I'll recap that again real quick. You're going to put your paper in, line your right side up with an inch. You're going to go in 1.5 inches, score it. Go 1/4 of an inch from there, or 5 score lines over, and then score it. And then we're going to line that last score line up with an inch line. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1/2 inches over, score it. And then we're going to go 1/4 of an inch over to the left from there and score it again, or 5 score lines over and score it again. And then we're going to turn it so our score lines are going longwise this way. And we're going to line the right side up on this side. And this side is going to be our top closing pocket system. So we're going to make this 1.5 inches tall. So we're going to go 1.5 inches in, score it right there. And then you're going to go 1/4 of an inch over to the left from there, or 5 score lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Score it again. And then we're going to bring this over and we're going to line that last score line we just did up with the inch. Thank you for the follow to Fox Designs. And we're going to go 4 inches down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and score it right there at the 4-inch mark. And then we're going to go to the left 1/4 of an inch for 5 score lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And score that again. And this is going to be the back of your pocket. We're going to move this up. We're going to put our last score line on the inch, and we're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4. And right at the 4 line, we're going to go about 2 score lines to the right and score it right there, just slightly less than the 4 inches. So Christy, when you flip the page over, your first score lines you did are going to be going this way. So we had the page like this. So I'll do that again really fast from the beginning. So you're going to put your page in, your score line, and this is from the beginning. You're going to go in 1.5 inches, score, go over to the left 1/4 of an inch and score, or 5 score lines. And then we're going to move this last score line over to an inch so we can know where our inches are. And we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 1/2. We're going to score it again going down. And then we're going to go from there 1/4 of an inch over to the left, or 5 score lines, score it again. And so you have your score lines going from top to bottom. And then we're going to turn our page around. So now our first score lines are going from left to right. And we're going to line the right side up with an inch. We're going to go in 1 1/2 inch, score it. From there, you're going to go 1/4 of an inch and score it, or 5 score lines. Now we're going to move this back over, so our last score line going from top to bottom here, after we turned our page, is on an inch. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, score that. And then we're going to go over 1/4 of an inch, or 5 score lines, and score it again. And then we're going to pull this up, and we're going to line that last one up with an inch again. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of scoring it right on the 4, we're going to go 2 score lines into the right and score it there. That way, this last piece is just barely smaller than our 4-inch piece right here. And you'll see what I mean when we cut that off. So after you've done that, you can cut this end right here off on the left, because you will not need that. Are your score lines not working, Donna? I know how that feels. So here's the thing. If you're not able to do the pocket right now, I have a tutorial on my wall on how to do a 3D pocket. And I can actually make another tutorial later today and post that if you'd like. And you can add the pocket later. So it is not the end of the world. Okay, so after we get this done, you're going to have what looks like this. And it's going to be long. So what we want is we want the longer side going from top to bottom. And you're going to take this side and you're going to fold your score line right here. We're going to fold our second score line. And then we're going to do the same with this side in the bottom. Now, you have your long part going up and down and your short part going this way. We're going to turn this so it's shorter going up and down this way. And we are going to take this and we're going to cut all the way over on the right score line on this side up to the last score line right here. And then we're going to turn our scissors sideways and we're going to cut this way and make it just kind of diagonal like that. And then we're going to do that on the left side right here the same exact way. Go right there to that last score line, turn your scissors and cut. So you're just a little diagonal. So then you have your left and your right like that. Now we're going to flip this around and we're going to do that same thing to this top part. And you're going to go right here on this score line to that last score line. Flip it and cut. And then you're going to do that to the other side. Go like that, flip it, and cut. So this flap right here, you don't need this one on this side this long. You can cut it to match the other one on the other side. You do need a flap, but you don't need it that long. You can cut them to match. So now what you have is something that looks like this. You have your two flaps on that side and your flap here on this side. And we can take our corner rounder, and your top flap that is shorter is going to be the top cover that comes down on your pocket, and you are going to round those two little corners. If you want, you don't have to round those two little corners. And this is where you will decorate this part and your top flap. You don't have to worry about the back or these flaps. And you're just going to take your little decorative piece of paper and measure it out, get it to where you want it on your paper. You just measure that out, come down here and put a line down here on this side where you need to cut. So you cut the right size. Like that. And then if you want, you can round your corners. So the rounding of your paper will be the top, long, short flap. This one. So this top part is going to be, so this is how your pocket goes. This way you guys can see better. I know the pocket can be confusing at first to try, but your pocket is going to sit like this. Does that make sense? And now you have a 3D pocket. So you're going to round the short flap that's going to go on the top. And to decorate it, you're going to flip this around because this is going to come up like that, and you want to decorate the right side of it. So it's easier if it's flat on the paper like this to do that. And you're just going to, oops, that's the wrong mucker upper. And you can muck up the corners to your decorative paper if you like. It's it could be either the way it was folded or maybe you didn't count right. It's okay if it's smaller. If you're still able to fold it up and make a pocket, make a pocket. It's great for teaching you how to make pockets, but I will do a tutorial if you don't want to put that particular pocket in your book. You do not have to. And I will do a tutorial later today on how to make these so then you guys can make a pocket for your journal later. For those of you that are, the signatures are 8 1/4 inch tall. I will put the tutorial up there after we do this. Anyways, and for the top part of your little lid of your pocket, you're just going to do the same thing you did for the bottom part to decorate. Mark where you need it, right there, and pull it over a little because your corners are rounded on this side, so you can't really see the bottom very well. So you just pull this over a little bit to get it cut where you need it over here. Get that paper off of there. And if you want, you can round the corners on the bottom or all three to match the pocket top. And look those edges up. And glue that down too, right on that front cover. Just like that. So you have a pocket that comes down like this. And now to make the little closing system for your pocket, you're going to take your circle punch. I don't remember what size circle punch I told everybody to bring to the party today, but you're going to take whatever color cardstock you are going to use, and you are going to punch out 8 circles. And you're going to take 4 of those, and you're going to glue them one right on top of the other. Go around in a circle, make sure you have that lined up. Put the next one on, and you're going to do that for 4 for this one and 4 for the other one. Thank you for the follow, awesome mom. The other one that way. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. Sorry for the loud noise. The husband is in the garage working on his truck. He was not loud until now. I might shut my door. My dogs are sleeping, so they're good. So we have our 2 little discs there lined up. Thank you for the follow, Lori Craft Creations. The dogs are sleeping. Let's shut the door so we don't have to hear the loud noises from the garage. Okay. Pups. Hi, guys. Hi. Okay. Thank you for the follow, Rhonda. So after you have your 2 little discs created, and you know what? This cardstock is not as sturdy as my other cardstock. Hold on while I fix mine. If your cardstock doesn't feel too sturdy, you can add a couple more to each one. We like these to be a little sturdy. It might just be because I don't usually use this tip on my glue bottle, so I should probably change the tip on my glue bottle, which I am going to do because I am done. Oh wait, no, I got paper out there to glue. We'll keep it on here. If you use a little too much glue, sometimes your paper can feel not as sturdy. It'll feel a little, oh, that's better, I like that. Okay, could just be this thickness of this particular cardstock. So after you get those 2 pieces done, you can go in if you want and muck up the edges of those with your little ink. Not a have to. Again, this is just if you want to. And then you're going to go in with your pencil or pen, find the very center of your little things, or attempt to find the center. I am so bad at doing this. I feel like this one is too high. And that one's a little too to the left. But anyways, find your centers, and then you're going to take your tiny hole punch. It looks messy instead of better. So I'll show you something with inking edges. When you ink the edges, make sure your thing is tilted like that, slanted. So when you're inking it, you're just sliding it instead of going like this. So if you go like this, actually I'll do it on this side. If your ink blotter is sitting down like this, you'll get more ink on it like that. If you turn it up like this while you're doing the edges and you kind of dab it, you can dab it or you can drag it. But you just want to make sure you hold it so it is not like that on your stuff. Hold it like this while you're dabbing the sides, and then it'll get these sides, and you want it to come in a little bit on the sides. It gives it that aged effect, and that's the whole point of using the ink blotter. But ink blotters, these ones are really good to use. If you have the other ones, sometimes those ones don't work very well. It's all in the angle of holding that little blotter while you're doing it. But once you get it, it's super easy, and the more you do it, you'll just get used to doing it that way. Anyways, you're going to punch your little holes in the center of your little thing, getting those ready for your brads. And then we're going to take our pocket. We're going to take this side and this side, and we're going to place these in the middle like this. We're going to find the center that we want them. You can squish your thing shut like that if you'd like. Just remember, this comes down a little bit, so you want your bottom one to be down enough where it's not going to get hit by your lid. So I like to hold these down while I do this. And you're going to put this in the center, or attempt to find the center, and use your pen to mark a little mark where that's going to be. And then you line your other one up on the bottom, mark a little mark where that one's going to be. And you're going to take your hole punch, punch a hole at the top. And because most of the time your hole punch is too small to go this way, you are going to take a pair of tweezers or something. For this one, I used 6, but you can do 4 to 6. It depends on how sturdy you want your little disc. Anywhere from 4 to 6, depends on the paper. Usually I do 4, but this paper was a little thin, so I did 6, Christy. Anyways, you're going to take your little tweezers and poke that hole right there. And just a tiny hole, don't go in too far, just enough to go through the other side. You don't want to make it too big because we're going to be putting brads in this to hold our thing shut. So, let's open these brads up. If I can get them to open up. Oh man, no, that's sticky. That's annoying. Those are going into a container real quick. Stephanie, there is, but I will be making another one today. So I'll put a new tutorial up for that after I'm done with the class. And you can put that pocket in later if you'd like. And that'll work. I know sometimes the pockets can be a little much. Thank you for the follow, Diana. Anyways, after you do that, you can take your little brad. You're going to put your brad in there. Take your pocket and put your brad right in that little hole and spread those wings. Now, if you want, you can cover the inside of this with decorative paper. Leave it. Use washi tape, whatever you want, or leave it like that. Cover the inside of this with decorative paper. Leave it. Use washi tape, whatever you want, or leave it like that. See, right now I got a phone call and I had to dismiss it. Thank you for the heart, Carol. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't like when phone calls come in the middle of doing these. Of course, it was a telemarketer. Okay, so you're going to take your second one and you're going to put your brad in it and you're going to put it in the other hole that you made on your pocket. And you are going to close that up. Now, this is where you will want a piece of washi tape or any tape. You can use washi tape. You can use any tape that you want for this side. Nobody's going to see it. And the reason you're putting this piece of tape here on top of those little brad wings, and make sure you have it nice and top, you push down on the top, is because when we put things in our pocket, we don't want them to catch on those little wings. And now, look at that. So now you can get your string. Come here, little teapot, come here. My string is not coming out of my teapot. That is not cool. We have to fix that. Yes, I have those in my teapot. There we go. Oh, that's so much better. We're going to put those to my paper press. Okay, that's better. So cute. Can't help it. It's adorable. Take your string, and you're going to take about an 8-inch piece of string. 8, 9, 10-inch. Oh, man. I'm low on string, so it doesn't want to stay out. And you're going to double your string up like this. We're going to put our string right here on this bottom piece. I'm going to have a little piece pulling out. Actually, you know what? I didn't cut this long enough. We're not going to double this up. I'm going to just do one. Usually I double it up, but you don't have to. But I didn't cut it long enough. So you're going to put your string in here. You can double it up if you cut it long enough for your pocket. And then you're going to tie this into a knot right there, right underneath that little disc. Tie it again. You can cut the short piece off if you want. You don't have to. And when we go to close our pocket, now we have a little string piece that we can put our pocket closed with. And that's how that works. But anyways, now we're going to set our pocket aside. We are not ready to put that into our book yet, and we're going to get back to our journal book. So now that our middle of our spine has dried, we're going to flip this flap over. We're going to put glue all on the back of this flap. And we're going to close that flap. Put it down like this. And when this part of this flap is closed, you're going to lift up your page, and we're going to go in right here at the edge with our bone folder and just kind of push it right there and go up a little bit. And the reason we're doing this is because when you open and close your page, this piece is going to move. That's why we put a crease here, so we can make it so it doesn't move. So when we do that, we get into that edge and push this up, it makes it so it is more of a uniform side. And it doesn't move and shift, and we don't get air bubbles right in this bottom part. So a lot of people wonder why they have air bubbles, because you're gluing your whole piece on at once. That's why we do the spine first and let it dry. So now we do the left side. Put glue all over there. Same thing, put the flap down, come in with our bone folder, lift our page up. Don't do it too hard because we don't want to rip things. And come up, squish it down right there, open and close it, squish it down like that, and that should work for that side. And now, if you cut pieces of decorative paper or anything that fits this whole section, now you can glue that on. If you cut down the little pieces that will go right here next to this, you can glue those on as well. So we just put the glue on the back of this. Line it up with our other sheet, so it's nice and perfectly lined up. And put it down just like that. And you don't have to use your bone folder on this one because this part is not on our crease. If you want to, you can. It doesn't hurt it. But anyways, so. And then you do your left side. And you line that one up. Oh, my paper's curling right here because I didn't put glue right on the edge. Put the glue on the edge of the paper, Berlin. There we go. Okay, so we glue the left side page for a piece that you have for the left side. Or you put in the piece you cut out to go over the whole top of it if you cut one whole piece out. And you line that up just like that. Well, that came out crooked. Either that or I glued it in there crooked. Anyways, I'm going to cut that edge off. I think I put it on backwards. That's why it didn't line up. Anyways, that's good. Okay, so then you have your left side in. Now, we are going to take a piece of paper and measurements are your arch nemesis. You know what, Gilston? That's why I count my score lines. I found that on my scoreboard, my 1/4 of an inch, if you take an actual ruler and line them up, it doesn't line up at all. Some of them are like 2 millimeters or 2 millimeters bigger than 1/4 of an inch, and it throws everything off. Jolie, the blue is on the cover of my journal. I'm actually going to be decorating it after we're done. But right now, I am going to take this white piece of cardstock. I am going to cut this piece of cardstock down to 5 by 9, the same size as our spine. So you can do this with a regular piece of paper. You can do this with scrap paper, whatever kind of paper you want. This is going to be our guide for our holes to sew in our signature. So you're going to cut it down to 9 by 5. And we are going to get our scoreboard out again because I had to sit here before this and figure out my measurements. So that way we have 13 signatures sewn in nice and evenly on this. And I figured that out. I just bought, this is just blue cardstock. It's just blue paper. You can use whatever color paper you want. Okay, so what we are going to do is take a pen, our scoreboard, and our sheet that we just cut out that is 9 by 5. So everybody let me know when you are ready with your sheet that is 9 by 5. Is there anybody in here that is not ready for this yet? Because this part is when you do not want to miss or mess up. Is there anybody that is not ready? Not ready, not ready, not ready. Okay. Let me know when you're done cutting out your piece of paper or cardstock, whatever you're going to use for your guide, 9 by 5. And you have a pen and your scoreboard. Actually, I just want to know the people that are not ready yet. I don't want to go on with this particular part because I don't want everybody to be lost. Thank you for the heart, me, Jolie. Is anybody not ready yet? My poor little teapot. If anybody wants to go grab a snack, go grab a snack. I can wait 5 minutes while you grab a snack. I'm thinking about door dashing some food. Snack break. It is 5 minutes starting now. And that'll also give everybody time to get their 9 by 5 piece of paper. See my signatures for this one? I made them rainbow. I think I had a little too much coffee. The snack sounds good. Queen Shan Shan, I know what you're talking about. My scoreboard sucks too, so I have to improvise with the way that I use it, which is why I count score lines. I don't know why that is. It's really annoying too. My poor house. It's a mess today. Okay, snack. What do I want for a snack? All I have is cheese and salami. That's a crappy snack. I just had that yesterday. And then I have chips, but nobody wants to hear me mow on those while I'm on live. Quick bowl of cereal. That actually sounds good, but being as I am the live creator, might not work good. On top of the fact that I have a box of Raisin Bran that's probably a year old, and that sucks. I don't eat a lot of cereal. So cheese and salami and crackers it is for me. And you know what? We're just going to bring the whole cheese and salami and crackers in with some dog treats for the dogs so they can have a dog treat. Yeah, that's my pantry. And we'll get the cheese and salami and bring that in too. A small plate, and we'll be good to go. Why, thank you. Okay. Now, these are rentals we moved to because my husband wants to move to Arkansas, which I'm okay with living anywhere. I don't really care as long as there's not a lot of snow. And so we went to Arkansas, and it's gorgeous there in certain areas. And so we want to move there, and I was like, I don't want to go through selling a house again. Screw that. Your cardstock is bubbling. What's bubbling on your cardstock? Oh, it's bubbling on the edges. Now, if it's still bubbling on the edges, it could be from not having enough glue there. Go in and squish it down more. Natural dental treats. No, the baby's got a treat. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have enough glue and it's a little, and you have bubbles in there where you don't have glue, you will get bubbles in your paper. So that's why it's important to put enough glue when you're doing something like this. I forgot my water. Okay, guys, I gotta get my water and then we'll get back to this project. Let's go find it. How you doing? Oh, how's the work going on your truck? Good. Good. Do you get that whatever you're doing in? I don't remember what it's called. Don't really care what it's called, but whatever. You know what? This paper towel is driving me insane. I don't know why it's on the floor. Okay, so I have my water now. I do want more coffee because then I'll just. You don't like the chew-chews? Do you not like the chewies? Boom boom. You don't like the chewy? Are they different flavors? Oh, there's 3 different flavors. Do you not like it? Do you want the green one? Neither of my dogs like these dental chews, I don't think. Good morning, Carrie. You're welcome, Donna. Okay, I haven't eaten yet, but I will as I go, a little bit here and there, stopping to give people time to do things. Okay, so I don't want to confuse anybody with this. We're going to count score lines, not inches, doing this part, okay? So you're going to take your 9x5 sheet of paper that you have, and you're going to put it on your scoreboard, and you're going to line your right side up with one of the inches. So you're just going to put that so that right side is lined up with the inch. And we're going to count. We're going to go in 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to count 5 score lines into the left. And you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're going to make a mark right there on that side, just a tiny little mark. And you're going to go 5 in from the left and make a mark. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 score lines in from the left, make a mark. And now, from that score line, you're going to count 4 and make a mark. 4, make a mark. 4, make a mark. So you're going to count 4 score lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a mark. Make a mark. You're using a pencil, not a score line, Tracy. We don't want to score this. We're making lines on our paper with a pen or a pencil. So you can use a pen or a pencil. You don't need actual measurements. Count your score lines. You don't have score marks on here. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4 and count your score marks and put a mark right there with your pencil. You don't have a scoreboard. Is it not a scoreboard? You just need actual measurements. Okay, so you're doing every 1/4 of an inch. Okay, the cutter, so this is a cutting scoreboard as well, but I'm not scoring my paper. So you don't want to use your score line thing to score it. You want to use a pencil or a pen. We're not trying to score this at all. We're making marks. This is going to be our grid to sew in our signatures. So anyways, you can count 4 over, so just do every 1/4 of an inch. So I am counting just because that's how I did it and it's more accurate for me because of my scoreboard. So just do 1/4 of an inch if you want. So you want to go in 5 score lines from the right, 5 score lines from the left, and then do a score line every 1/4 of an inch. You should end up with 13 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a mark. 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 And now you have, in between those 2 marks on the side, you should have 13 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why did that not work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What the hell? I just did this earlier. Okay, don't worry about that. You'll use one of your lines that you have over here. We're just not going to use the other one. We're going to turn that around and do the same thing. That is so strange. Just did this morning. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make a mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, make a mark. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know why it didn't work. It didn't work because of this stupid middle. I shouldn't have done it over there. I'm going to redo that. Anyways, so now you have your little lines on your thing. We're going to get rid of our scoreboard now. And the reason we're doing this is because this is going to be our guide for our holes that we're going to be putting into our journal. So you're going to take your ruler and you're going to line it up with that side of the first line and this side of your first line. And we're going to draw a line from the top to the bottom on each one of those lines that we made. And you go to the next one, do the same thing. And we want this as straight as possible because we want our signatures to be straight in our journal. It's really weird that I didn't end up with 13 lines. I sat here and did the math on this morning, did it twice in my scoreboard with a 9x5 sheet of paper, exactly like that. And I ended up with 13 in between those 2 lines, so it's really weird. That's okay, Ginny, if you got 14. We'll just, and draw a line, and draw another line. Don't worry, Ginny. Just keep drawing your lines. Even if you have 14 of them, draw a line on all of your lines. You're going to connect all of them together. I have to make sure my lines are straight. Oh, they're straight. Okay, let me know when you're done doing this. Actually, let me know when you're not done doing this, if there's anybody that's still working on this. Steph, I think you're right. And that's why it is so hard to make these when you're drawing on them. Usually when you fold them, it makes it easier, but because we're doing 13, it's really hard to fold this into 13 sections evenly going across. So I had to do all of the measurements on this because it's 5x9, and no 2 rulers and no 2 scoreboards are alike. Why that is, I don't know, because it makes it sucky for measuring. Thank you for the club power, Heather. Thank you. Thank you, Candace. Not even close to done. Thank you for the follow, Layla. I think an easier way of doing this would have just been evenly. Oh my gosh, that one line is crooked as can be. I have to make that straighter. I think an easier way of making this would just be to put even spaced lines going across all of it, so you get at least 15 lines, and that way you can ignore the first one on the left and the first one on the right. That would probably work better. Just that straight. Nope. So weird. Thank you, Jolie and Carrie. Thank you, everybody, for the gifts. So sweet. So sweet. Oh my goodness, I got one of those ear itches that's just, ugh. So if anybody in here wears hearing aids, you know what I'm talking about. But then again, I'm sure people without hearing aids have one of those ear itches. It's just like, ah! It feels like you're being attacked, and you got to get it right then and there. Stressful, but dinner, I think. Okay. Okay, let's get a piece of salami. Is there anybody that is not done with making your lines like this? Okay, I'll wait another minute. You want at least 13 lines going from top to bottom. If you have more than that, that's fine. You managed to lose one, that's good. Okay, now we're going to go to the next step. For the next step, you're going to take one of your signatures, and what we're going to do is we're going to lay this on top of our signature like this, and you want it to be sticking over the same amount of space on the top and the bottom. So you want to make this so you have your ruler out, and you just measure this, and you should have 1/4 of an inch at the top, from the top of your sheet to the edge of your signature. So it should be 1/4 of an inch. If your thing is a little bigger, you want to compensate for that, because you want your signature to be in the middle. So you want the same amount of space up here and on the bottom hanging over, so that way you can make a mark right here on the side where your signature top is. So right at the top of your signature is right there. I'm going to make that mark there and one on the other side. So I know on my sheet where my signature ends on the top and the bottom. Does that make sense? So now I have a mark here and a mark here, and I know that that is the length of my signatures. And you want that to be in the center. So after you do that, you're going to line your ruler up with this. You're going to put your end of your ruler right on this line, and you're going to have your other one up here. And you should measure from line to line 8 1/4. That's if you cut your signatures to 8 1/4 inches tall. If you did not, they're a little shorter, that's fine. Now, from this top line, we're going to go in 3/4 of an inch from the left and make a mark right there at 3/4 of an inch. And then from the right side, we're going to go in 3/4 of an inch. And the reason we're doing this, So I'm going to bring this up here and line this up with an inch, and I'm going to go in 3/4 of an inch right here, is because these are going to be where we make our other lines. And then I'm going to line my right side up with the inch on that 3/4 of an inch I just drew, and then I'm going to come down here to 4 1/4, or 4 3/4, and make a mark at 4 3/4, and that should be the center. Okay, so you're going to line your ruler up on the left side with that first line you made where your signature was. So line your ruler up right there on that line. And up here, if you cut your signatures to 8 1/4, then your 8 1/4 should line up with that other line you drew here for your signature. So on the left, when you line this up, you're going to go in 3/4 of an inch and make a mark right there. 3/4 of an inch is the second big line to the left from your 1 inch line. Thank you for the follow, Beauty. And now you're going to go to your right line with your signature line on the right. Line up your ruler to an inch on that and go in 3/4 of an inch to there and make a mark. And so from there, you should have an inch line, one of your inch marks lined up with that mark you just made on the right side. Line it up with your 8, and then go down here to your 4 3/4 and make a line right there. So if you line that line, the second one you made right here, up with your 8 on your ruler, go down to 4 3/4 and make a mark there. And so you're going to do that same thing on the other side. I'm going to flip this around. If you have to use your signature to do that again, you can. If your measurements are good, you should be able to go in 1/4 of an inch, or you can just measure the side with your ruler on that very end mark, and then put that same mark over here on this side. That would be where your signature ends. Do that on this side. Want your signature marks over here. And then you're going to line your left side of your ruler up with that left line you've just made. And you're going to go in 3/4 of an inch and make a line. And then you're going to line your right side up with your 8 right on that line. You're going to go in 3/4 of an inch and make a mark. And then you line that 8 up with that line you just made right there at your 3/4 of an inch line. And you're going to go down to 4 3/4 and make a mark. Did you get that, Christy? If you line your 8 up with that second line you made on your right, and you go down to 4 3/4, that would be the middle. And so you should have that. And you're going to take your ruler down here at the bottom, and you're going to draw a line from that one to that one. You're going to do, so the very, very bottom one, you're not going to draw a line across. It's the one above that. So you draw that line, and then we draw the middle line. And then we draw that next line right here. So you have that. So you don't have a line from this one or this one drawn across, just these 3. So let me know when you're done doing that. If there's anybody who is not done, if you need any other help with that, let me know. Is there anybody that is not done making their grid? I'm eating crackers. Okay, now we're going to move on. You're going to take your paper, and what I want you to do is take a pen of a different color or something, draw a squiggly line up here at the very, very top, so you, or whatever mark you want to make, so you know that is the top of your guide. So now I know this is the top for my guide the entire time. The reason we do this is because if you put your lines in your signature and you turn your signature upside down and you don't sew them in there correctly on the right things, you may get your signatures looking a little wonky, and we don't want that. We want them to all look uniform and straight all the way across. So now you're going to take your awl or whatever you have that is going to poke your holes for your signatures into your book, and we're going to take this on our guide, and you are going to, everywhere you have a line that meets this line, you're going to poke a hole, except we only want 13 of these going across. So if you have 1 or 2 extra lines, this is going to be sitting this way on your spine. So I want you to ignore whatever extra lines you have on the right side of this paper. And the reason I say that is because this will be the side that we put that pocket. So it's nice to have a little extra space on the right side of your journal. So when we put this in here to do the spine, and we're going to do it on the inside today. Usually I do it on the outside, but because we're doing it this way, we're going to do this on the inside. So you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you have any extra lines on the right side, you're just going to squiggle those out because we don't have to do any holes on those lines. We only want 13. So from the right side, ignore my wonky line here, where this line meets with this line going across, you're going to poke a hole. So let me figure out where my straight line is right here. So I'm going to poke a hole there, and there, and there. And you're going to do this going all the way across and ignore that last line. And you want these straight as possible. See how this one's just slightly down, so is the other one? Those will look just slightly down in my book. Possibly. Possibly not. Depends on how I sew it in. But you're going to go across your thing right there like that. And then you're going to do that on this next line going across, all 13 of them. Thank you for the follow, iced tea with lemon. Oh, my awl is squeaking. And then you're going to do that for your last one. How is it going, iced tea? I am doing a live tutorial today. I do them about once a month, and we do different things. Today is the 2026 calendar journal that we are making. I will have this posted on my YouTube, hopefully, when I'm done. So if anybody wants to look at it there, hopefully I don't get a restriction for saying that. Anyways, after you have those all poked in, we're going to take this, and we're going to take our signatures, and we're going to open it to the center page, and we're going to line the 2 lines where our signature is at the top and the bottom up with our signature. So we have that right in the middle. So this line at the very bottom is lined up with that edge. This line is lined up with that edge, and you want to make it even. And you're going to take a pencil or a pen, and you're going to make a mark right where your line going this way is that we just poked holes on. Make a mark in the center and a mark right there. And then take note where your top of your guide is. And make sure that when you close your signature and you put it on your table, that your top is facing up, because we want to make sure we grab them and sew them with the top into our signature like that. If you want to add a sticker or a mark or something that tells you what your top is, you can. Sometimes I'll go right here at the very tippy top and make a tiny little dot so I know. And then you're going to do your next signature. Thank you for the heartbeat. And then you're going to put the next one in, and you're going to do that for all 13 of your signatures. Line those up. Make your little marks where your line is. This is where we're going to be sewing our signatures in. And you're going to do that to all 13 of these. Oh, you put a Post-it on yours? That's a good idea too. You can stick a Post-it on the top so that way you don't have any marks in the pages that you don't want. I like that idea. I need to buy me some of those itty bitty tiny Post-its. Of course, these pens that I'm using are erasable gel pens, and they work amazing. I love them. I sewed in, no, they are not, Steph. So I have two kinds in my showcase, and these are the ones that are not the Grabby brand. Actually, I already have the glue pinned to the live. I can pin these to the, or add these to the live too. There, I pinned these. I'll tell you about these pins really quick. The reason I love these pins is because if you're like me and you're slightly blind, you take a pencil and you have decorative paper that you're using and you make a line with your pencil. The pencil marks a lot of times blend in. And so then you go to cut it and you can't find your pencil line at all. But with these, they're erasable gel pens. So I can get like blue. And if I have a lot of ephemera-like paper, actually, this one I actually printed myself, so it might erase some of the ink. I don't know why. But anyways, if I make a line right here where I need to cut, I can see it. If I did it in pencil, it would kind of blend in because the paper is that color. But after you put the line there, you can erase it. If I can get my eraser to sit there properly. Anyways, you can erase your line. I think I just smudged all the ink on there. This is something I printed myself, and for some reason, these erasers, when you try to use them on something you printed yourself, it smudges the ink a little bit. But not the ink that I put on there, the ink in the background. But I like it because you can get that off, and you can see what you're doing. Plus, these erasers on the back of these pens, if you get glue, let's see if I can find any on my paper. Oh, yeah. So, I don't know if you can see it. You see that glue dot right there where it's kind of shiny? These get rid of the glue dots. Like, it takes the glue off. Here's another little glue dot. You can see it right there. It gets the glue off, and I like that. Yeah, they're really cool. But the grabby ones, I have both, and I don't like the grabby ones. I don't know why. They don't erase right. These other ones, they erase better. But anyways, I did put those on there if you're interested. It's easier to see what you're doing. I like it. Okay, so let's finish getting these signatures done. I like the fact that I can erase the glue. It doesn't get all the glue, and I think it depends on if it's glue you smudged in really good. For some reason, it won't erase that all the way. It does some, but not all the way. But if it's just like glue dots that accidentally got somewhere, like it'll get them off really good. It's kind of cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. Plus, they're pretty cheap. They're not expensive. Well, I was not planning on pinning anything to my live, but for people to buy. But I only am because I am being asked about them, so I might as well pin them there so you can go find them. And you don't have to get them from me. You can get them from other places if you find them cheaper or whatever. I shouldn't say me. You don't have to get them from the Tiki Tack. How do you print them like a book? Highlight your images all. So when you click on one of your images, hold your shift button down and click on all the other images. After you click on all of them, double click one of them, and it should open them all up in one screen, and then you can print from there. Jessica. Most computers have the ability to do that, where you can open multiple images at once, and then it will print them all at once as well. And it's just about clicking on all of them and then opening them. But they all have to be highlighted in order for it to be one conjoined thing that opens. You're very, very welcome. Did that work for you? Now, I have Apple products, so I'm not sure if it's the same on the other computers, but I know mine, that's how it is. You click on one, hold the shift button, click on all the others one at a time, and then when you're done, double click one, and it should open all of them. So there's 2 pages that we used in each signature, which folded in half gives you 4 pages for each signature. And the reason we're doing that is because it is a calendar, 2026 calendar journal. So if you're using this for whatever goal you want to do for the year, whether it be Bible study, weight loss, whatever journey you want to do, thinking positive, it doesn't matter, whatever you want to use your journal for. So you have 13. So you have 12 signatures for each month and 1 page for each week. And so what we're going to be doing when we're done with this is for the first week, so let's say this coming week, you decorate your first page on one side, and on the other side, that's where you write down your goals, whatever you want to accomplish that week, and all of that. And then the next week, you decorate your page on the front, and on the back of that, you write down whatever you want to do on that for that week. Yeah, you can use it as an entire calendar book too. You can write all your appointments on it. You can do it for Bible study. You can do it for whatever you want. Third week, same thing, decorate the front, put everything on the back that you want to accomplish or your goals, or write if you accomplished the week before, whatever. Fourth page is your 4th week. And then you have 13. And the reason you have 13 of them is because you have 1 for each month. And the 13th one is your yearly recap. And what the pocket that we're putting in the back for every week, you write a sentiment to yourself, something positive, whatever you want to put in there. You write a little sentiment and you stick it in there in your pocket. At the end of the year, you have your 13th page. You're going to take all your sentiments out, or whatever you wrote to yourself, go over them. You can use them to decorate all 4 of these pages, front and back. You can write whatever you want on it, what you accomplished, all that. What you want to do for next year, this is your book. So you can use it for whatever you want. But that is why we're doing it this way, because that was the function of the 2026 journal. But anyways, your signatures. You want to have your last signature on top, because we always go from right to left when we're sewing them in. So we sew the last signature in first and go all the way over. And, oh, I have 2 signatures left to do this too. I thought I was finished. Oh, goodness gracious. Stephanie, wasn't this your idea that I should do a journal for New Year's, a New Year's journal? I could have sworn it was you that said that. Well, you lit the fire. No, the 13th. So we always start on the last signature. So like with me, if all your signatures are the same paper and all that, it doesn't matter how you have these stacked. But if you're like me and you made yours rainbow, I want the beginning of my book to start with the red one and then end with the last color in my rainbow, right? Nadia, the spacing of my lines are about 1/4 of an inch. And when you do it, you start from the left side, go in 1/4 of an inch, and then go 1/4 of an inch all the way over. And we're only going to use 13 of these lines going from the left to the right when we put them on our thing, and leave a little more space on the right because that's the side we're going to have our pocket. But anyways, so with me, if you have your signatures arranged, 1 through 13, you're going to start with your 13th signature on the right side in the journal. And I'll go back over that when we actually start putting these in our journal. So after you're done getting your little marks in your journal done, we are going to take our book right here and some washi tape. We're going to get a little piece of washi tape because we want to make sure this stays straight on our journal. Washi tape comes off without ripping paper most of the time. And we are going to line this up so it is centered. And if we have any space on the bottom and the top, we're going to make sure this is centered so we have the same amount on the top and the bottom. This way our signatures will go in straight. And we're going to make sure it's straight at the top. And then we're going to put a little piece of washi tape up there to hold that in. And you know which side is the top because we made that mark on our thing. And then on the bottom, we're just going to line that up and make sure it is straight as straight can be. And we're going to put a piece of tape down there. And hold the bottom in. And now you're going to take a pen if you want. Actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, let's do it this way. So If you have a washcloth or a towel, which I had in here somewhere, there it is. You're going to fold this up, or you're going to use a piece of styrofoam, whatever you have to poke your holes through your signature with, and you're just going to put it right underneath it. And we're going to take our awl, and right where we poked all those little holes going across, we're going to poke holes right into our bookboard. So you're just going to go one, and you're going to go all the way across and get all 13 of these holes going across in. Crafty Marcia, I do not have templates. If I were to literally make these templates for that, I don't think people would want them because I would charge a lot for them. Do you mean a template as far as a kit, like everything included, so you can make this yourself with instructions? Or do you just mean the template, the paper template? Okay, so after you do your first line of holes going across, you're going to do the next one. The paper templates like this for your signature paper template. I do not have these. I can make them. The problem with making them is that not everybody's signatures are going to be, so the spine to a book is not the same for everybody. Some people might make them 2 inches, some people might make them 3 inches, some people might put 5 signatures in a 3-inch spine. In order to do that, you might have to put those closer than 1/4 of an inch apart. So this is pretty easy to make. You just evenly space it for the spine width that you have and the amount of signatures that you have. It all depends on how big you want to make something and how small. Hey, April, glad you made it. This is the part you wanted to watch. So I don't have these done up for any part. I actually don't keep them. I just throw them away after I'm done using them because each journal is different. And I don't have kits for making journals. I could make kits for making journals, but that takes a lot of time, a lot more time than actually making the journal. Putting it together, shipping it, shipping costs, putting it into a bag, all of that. By the time I'm done, I would charge the same amount that I would to buy one of my journals. Totally charge the same amount for a kit, just because supplies, putting it together, getting a barcode, not a barcode, a what do you call those codes? A QR code. I would link a QR code to the specific video that you would watch that would be the tutorial to make whatever kit you got. It would be a lot, and I don't think people would get them for that price. I mean, if I sold a kit for this that included all the paper, everything that you needed with directions and had a QR code linked to a video to show you how to do it, I'd probably charge somewhere around $125 for it. That's a lot of work. Plus, you got shipping. You've got all the time it takes you to cut everything out, so it's the right size, and then making all the grids, and then providing all the things that people would need for it. All of that takes a lot of time. Yes, it is a big one. It has 13 signatures in it. But anyways, after you're done poking all the holes in, you can take this back off nicely and evenly. Take your little tape off. And we can set this aside because we already have our marks in our signatures done. And next we can take our awl. Where did I put my awl? I literally just had it in my hand. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Nadia. You're going to take your thing and you are going to poke holes in those 3 little dots that you made in your signatures. You're just going to go in and poke the holes. I have glue from that tape all over my awl. I really hate that. I need to get some acetone so I can wipe it off after I'm done. Gross. Anyways, you're going to do that. Make sure that you keep this right side up. And you're going to do that to all of your signatures. Just go in and poke a hole on those 3 little marks that you made. Make sure when you do this that you Make sure your two pages are aligned properly. You don't have one sticking out farther than the other. These are so easy to put in because there's only two actual sheets here that you're going through and sewing in, so they go pretty fast putting these in. But I figure after everybody's done decorating their pages and writing in them for the year, putting whatever you want in your pages, that they're going to be pretty bulky and fat. And we're going to put holes in the last two signatures. Whee! Yesterday, my live got restricted for the entire live for some dumb promotional thing, and I'm like, I am not promoting anything. Okay, something about some things may be found offensive to other people. I'm like, what the heck? Anyways, I'm going to put these back so I have the last one on top. Shoulder and elbow hurt after hammering the holes into my book. The signatures are easy. Yes, they are easy. Okay, we're going to put those signatures over there. It could have been something I said about my husband because it was funny. Because I make fun of him. I may have said something that offended somebody and maybe somebody reported me. I don't know. We can be a little crude at times. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, where is, of course, I didn't put it back where it goes, so I have to look for it. But I have string that I tie my signatures in somewhere. Ugh. I love when I displace stuff. Put it somewhere it's not supposed to be. Okay, now you're going to get your needle that you're going to sew in your signatures with, and your string, if you're able to find it, wherever you put it. I can use my other string, but I'm going to use my waxed string this time again. Boo! Where did I put my stringy string? Crazy, crazy. You can use either, Tracy. I'm probably going to use embroidery string as well because I can't find my waxed string. So embroidery string it is. And for me, I don't care what color I'm using because mine is a rainbow. So you can use wax string, embroidery string, whatever string you want to use. Okay, what did I forget? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? Laura, I looked on the filing cabinet and I didn't see it anywhere. Of course, my filing cabinet doesn't look too bad right now. I mean, it's not too bad. It's pretty picked up. I don't have a whole lot of files on my filing cabinet at the moment. For those of you that watch me, my filing cabinet happens to be my floor. People are very sensitive, I think Oracle is the company that bought TikTok. Anyways, so we are going to try to find our lost scissors next, or just grab a new pair, cut some string off. You want your string to be about 1.5 to 2 lengths long, or as long as a map or as long as it takes to get to China, like I made this string. But anyways, we're going to take our needle for making our thing. I think I'm going to use the smaller one this time since I am using this string. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I made this one way long, like way long, longer than it needs to be. Okay, you're going to thread your little string through, and you just have a little piece hanging in there so you can hold it kind of like that while you're sewing your signatures. You're going to take your 13th signature that goes on the right side of your journal, and the last holes on the right, you're going to make sure your signatures are facing right side up. And we're going to start in the middle hole right here through your signature, put it in the middle hole on the very right, last hole on the very right side of your thing. And you're going to bring it through like that. If you need a pair of pliers to pull on that needle to get it through, go ahead and use that. And then you're going to come to the hole closest to you, put it in there, and then go through the hole at the bottom of your signature, just like that. And try not to drag everything on your desk in with your project because it might not look great for your journal to have a clump of strings stuck there. But anyways, after you come through that bottom, you're going to go back through the middle. If you have to lift your page up a little bit to see it go through the bottom part, you can do that. And we lift this up, push that through, come through. I'm really irritated right now with all the crap on my desk. I want to throw it across the room. Okay, and we just grab the string on the inside and go on the top, kind of pull both of them to make it a little tight. And back here, we're going to go to the last hole over here on the same row, put it through there, and you turn your journal around like that, holding onto your string, and we put that through that hole on the top of our signature, just like that. Okay. I get irritated with stuff in my way. Okay. Now, after you do that, you're going to come over here. You're going to pull tight, not too tight, because if you're using wax string, you're good. If you're using embroidery and you pull too tight, you will snap it. And you're going to take your needle while you're holding these two with your left hand, go underneath that string, pull up, pull tight, twist around, put your thumb right there in the thing, take your needle off of your string if it wants to come off. I swear, this needle does not want to come off my string. Okay, there it goes. Anyways, you're going to hold your thumb there. You're going to bring your other string here, and you're going to bring it under, go through and grab it and pull it through, and then tie it. And that is how you tie a tight signature. And then you can tie it again, and then find your scissors that went off to Neverland, and cut that right there. And there is your first signature. And now we're going to turn this back around and start with the next one. And you're going to put your next one in with the next row of holes. You're going to get your string. Make sure you don't make it as long as a road trip, and it will work a lot better. And then try to find your needle that you lost in 5 seconds. Thread your needle again for your second signature and do the same thing. And you are going to repeat this going all the way over each row of lines until all 13 of your signatures are sewn in. Of course, I had to pick the smallest needle that I can't thread very well. Okay, second signature. Go in the middle, and then the second line over in the middle. Bring it through the top, or the bottom actually, that would be the bottom. Go through the hole in your signature. You want to make sure that you leave this piece out so you can hold on to it. If you don't, you'll lose your string. And then you go back through the middle hole, through that middle hole on your spine. We'll cut the string and put it on the right side, Jenny. At least you didn't sew 12 of them in going the wrong direction, right? The only reason it would matter, Dina, is if you have your signatures in a specific order. So like for me, I have them in a rainbow order, so I want to start with red as the first signature. It wouldn't really matter because then it could be a rainbow going the opposite direction if I didn't, but I guess it all depends on what you have as your signatures. That's right. You have the months on yours, so you don't want to start with December. Okay. Oh, shit. Excuse my French. My needle was inside my sleeve. I was like, where the heck did that go? I moved my hand. It just barely poked myself. I was like, oh, crap. It went down my sleeve. What a bad place for it to be. That is very, very true. Iced tea. Definitely needed. There are times it is needed. Now, when I am done making this particular journal, I am going to do my first waffle with this journal. So anybody can decide whether or not they want the 2026 calendar journal. And we're going to go through the middle hole. If I keep talking, or this thing will give me a restriction for not talking because I have products linked to it. And we'll turn this around and go to the last hole for that row. Get in there. That's what she said. Okay. And tug. Tug it tight. Don't break your string. Tug it tight. Spin. Hold with your thumb. And go through with your string and tie it in a knot. Yes, there are only 2 actual sheets of paper that we fold in half for each signature. So you end up with 4 pages after they're folded in half. Great. So I only used a purple sheet and a white sheet, folded it in half, and that's 1 signature. So you have 4 pages, and it's 1 for each day of the week. And if you have more pages in your signatures, that's fine too. If there's a ton of them, that might be a problem because when you're done decorating this, it might not fit everything. How many pages for each signature did you do? 5 sheets of paper. So you have 10 pages for each signature. That's going to be a really fat journal. If you want to take some of those pages off, you can. Yes, America, that is how it is. So 2 pieces of paper that are folded in half makes 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. And each page is for each week of that month. So this one would, let's say this one's August. So the first week in August, I would decorate the front of the page and on the back, depending on what you're using this for. Some people might want to use it for their exercise journal. Some people might want to use it for their calendar. Some people might want to use it for Bible study, personal growth, whatever you're using your 2026 calendar for. So you would decorate the front, and on the back, that's where you can write whatever you want. And you can do this however you want. It's your journal. So if you don't want to decorate the front, you just want to use both pages to write, go ahead. It's yours. But anyways, this is how I was doing it for the live. But anyways, you decorate the front. The back is where you would write down your successes for that week or what you want to do the next week or whatever. And then the next page, same thing. Decorate the front for the second week, write down on the back in that second week, and then you have your third week, and then your fourth week. And then you have 1 for each month of the year for 2026. Your 13th Your 13th signature, because we have 13 total signatures, is your yearly recap. And you would take all your sentiments that you wrote to yourself, one for each week or however many you want, that you put into your pocket, that you put on the back, and you take those out. You can use those to decorate your 13th signature. You can use them to help you write out your recap, what you want to do the next year, because you can make one of these every year. It's just a fun little project. But anyways, that is how that works, America. So, well, that's good, Queen Sean. Can't talk today. Queen Sean. But anyways, so now I am on my 4th signature. And again, you put it through the middle for that row. And you come through. Make sure you leave a good 3 or 4 inches of string sticking out so you can hold onto it. Come up here to this side and get that through your signature hole there. I'm glad I'm using a smaller needle. It's so much easier to get in and out of these holes. And then you go back through the center and line it up with that hole in the back. Get it through there. Pull it tight a little bit. And then go through this top one. Cindy, well, if it works with the TikTok studio and I'm able to download this entire live, it will be available on my YT channel. If you just go to YT, the YTube, and you type in the paper sprite, you should be able to watch it over there because I will be downloading it to my phone and then uploading it there. And then go under the string, take off your needle, pull tight, turn, put your thumb down. And we're going to tie this in a knot right here. Put it through the loop and tie it, and then tie it again. And I think, yep, I threw my string onto the floor because my sweatshirt gets stuck on everything. Hey, Deirdre. Now we are going to do, what do we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do the 5th signature. So my signatures are all in a rainbow pattern. Oh, and we have to turn this around so we can get it on this side. Oh, and there we go. Oh, wait, no, that's not on there. There we go. Right side up. We're good, we're good, we're good, we're good. How are you guys doing sewing the signatures? Is there anybody that needs extra help? Oh. Okay, now we get this side. Well, that's good, Deirdre. And then we tuck tight, we go underneath, spin, put our finger, get rid of our needle, and we tie this in. I don't understand what you're talking about, 6 strands. I'm using 1 string to tie in one signature. So it's 1 string per signature. You're going to make your string about, this is 9 inches wide. You're going to make your string about 18 inches long. Well, not 18 inches long. You're going to make your string about 15 inches long. And you're sewing in 1 signature, not 1 hole at a time. I think that's what you're doing. I can't quite tell. The question did not make much sense to me. Oh, it has 6 strands. No, you just use 1 right. Don't take it apart. Okay, where did my needle go? How do I do this every single time? I lose my needle every time that fast. It's so crazy. So crazy. Okay, if you're going to run out, then divide it into 3 strings per thing if you want. If you go any smaller than that, it will rip. It will not hold your pages in. Or use a different string if you have any more of it in a different color. You can use that as well. What did I do with my needle? I swear. Put stuff down and it disappears. It's not in my sleeve. I just checked that too because I was like, did it go in my shirt again? But it did not. So that's good. Yeah, I've been looking on the filing cabinet and it's not there. I've spun around looking everywhere on the filing cabinet. What the hell? So crazy how quick something can get lost. Hey, Karen. I just looked under my book and it's not there. It's in my book. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there. Oh my goodness. I don't want to pull the other one out because then I'll lose that one too. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab another needle and I'm going to stick it in here after I'm done with every signature. Good thing my other needle's in there. I looked on the floor, but I grabbed my other one. We will live. I did put it off to my right, and it's nowhere to my right, which is strange. If I poke my armpit later, we know where it is. Okay, next one. Oh. That would be really bad. Wouldn't that be bad if all of a sudden your armpit's on fire because some needle went and stabbed it? That would be so horrible. Yes, it's the calendar book, Deirdre. That would be just horrible. Sewing. Okay, let's get this in here. Of course, this needle is a little bigger, so it takes a little more to get it in. Yeah, it could be on the floor. Of course, I have a feeling it may have gone off into my embroidery basket or my scrap basket, which is right next to my desk on the right. I don't know, either that or it's under something. I'll find it later when I go to clean this room. And my needle is going to be stabbed right there into my pin cushion, so I do not lose it. The pin cushion is much bigger, so it is harder to lose. And I'm getting, look at that, there's my needle right on my scissors. There it is. Magnetic. Stuck on my scissors. I knew I put it over there. I have magnets over here, and of course with metal, if you rub metal to metal, you can kind of make it magnetic sometimes, depending on the metal. So funny. I knew I had it over there somewhere. Okay. It would have been cool if I did embroidery string in the... So what would have been cool is if I started with red on the back and gone the same colors going the opposite direction. That would have been awesome. But I don't have all those colors, and embroidery string, so that kind of sucks. Yes, my armpit has been saved. Oh, that didn't work. Just rub magnets on your scissors and it'll magnetize them. If you get magnets, just rub them on your scissors. I have magnets over here and I stick them on my scissors every once in a while because it is kind of cool to be able to hold something. I like the idea that my needle sticks to my scissors rather than my foot. Oh, you sent me a message. Scroll up. You were here for all the drama. We don't have a whole lot of drama in here, Iced Tea. Oh, you did the journal fidget and the card pocket. That's awesome. Did you have fun making them? That's the only question. The question would be, does he know how to make your scissors magnetic? If you have a few high power magnets in your garage, and being a man, he probably does have at least one. Just tell him to rub the scissors on that, like over and over, just rub them. Sharpen the scissors with a magnet. You can do that too. It works. That's awesome that you did it. You're very welcome, Iced Tea. I'm sorry we didn't have a lot of drama for you. Unless losing a needle was drama enough, because that's my kind of drama. Thank you for the bears. So sweet. Look at this. I am on green. Well, there's two of every color, except for red. I only have one red. Now I'm gonna have to see if I have any more of this purple. If I don't, that's okay, because I'm gonna hide the strings anyways. And I will show you guys how to do that. These journals are so fun to make. I make journals nonstop all the time. I'm just obsessed with making journals. Okay, let's see. Do I have that purple in here? I have a lighter purple. And look at that. Ta-da! I think it's the same color purple. Possibly a little lighter. Okay, so this takes two embroidery things to do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in. Okay, get that one tied in. And the next one in. So what number signature are you guys all on tying in? starting number 11. Man, some of you are faster than I am. Anthony's being a spectator. That's okay. We love our cheerleaders. Spectators, cheerleaders, whatever one wants to be. Have you made a journal before, Anthony? Or you just like watching it? Some people just love watching it. Kind of like some people like watching, I don't know, football and cooking, and, you know, some people like watching this stuff. My goodness, you guys are fast. I have 4 more signatures to put in. But then again, that might be because I constantly lose my needle. Yeah, several times, not once, several times. I put my pin cushion over here so I can just stick my needle in that from now on, so I don't have to worry about losing my needle. Uh-oh, a hair in there. But anyways, this is going to be a cool, cute little journal for somebody to use. I love the rainbow idea for paper. I was sitting there looking at all my cardstock going, I don't have 26 sheets of or 13 sheets of cardstock that are the same color other than white and black. So I'll show you that one second, Anthony. Let me finish sewing this one in, and then I'll show you the idea behind this calendar and the reason it doesn't have that many pages per signature. Or this journal, I should say. It is a calendar journal. Okay, so the calendar journal. It has 13 signatures, and there's 12 for each month of the year, and the 13th is the yearly recap signature. But each signature, you just have 4 pages for each signature. So 1 for each week. You decorate the one side. On the other side is your whatever you're doing. So if you're going to use this for keeping track of appointments, you can use it for keeping track of appointments for that week. If you are going to use it for Bible study, you can use it for Bible study. If you're going to use it for your New Year's resolution and tracking that for the year, you use it for that. But anyways, personal growth, whatever you can use it for. You decorate your first week's page on the front, and then on the back, you write whatever you want to write for that week to keep track of your progress. And then the second page is the second week, third page is the third week, fourth page is the fourth week. And you have 1 for each month. And then you have your 13th one. And the 13th one, because we put a pocket in the back right here, so each week you'll write like a sentiment to yourself, your favorite Bible verse for that week, your favorite workout for that week, an exercise that you accomplished for that week, whatever your accomplishments, you want it to be positive. And so your 13th one, you would do all 4 of these with your sentiments that you wrote out for the year. You would go over them, you would recap your progress, and then your last 4 pages would be all about that. And then you make another one for the next year. But that is the whole idea of the 2026 calendar journal. Exactly. You can track that too. Where did my other tape go? If I don't tape this down, it's going to move all over the place. Okay, there we go. Yes, you can use it to track whatever you want to do. Anyways, but that's the idea of this particular project. And look at that, I lost. How do you lose string? You dump it on the file cabinet. That's how you lose string. Okay, next one. And that's also why I am not done sewing in my signatures, because I'm doing the tutorial. Yeah, the cold is really hard for arthritis. It does not help anybody in any way. Okay, my hands are getting really dried out from this. Oh, I know the feeling. Make sure after you put lotion on and you let it sit for a minute that you use a paper towel to wipe off any of the excess oily residue. It will get all over the paper and stain it. And I know this from experience. It was not experience that I wanted to know, but I did find that out the hard way. Yeah, just have a couple paper towels nearby. It does. It dries your skin because paper is absorbent. So it's actually taking on and absorbing all of your natural oils to your skin. And when the paper absorbs all that, your hands get real dry. You don't have any other kind of stuff to glue, tie in your signatures, or are you trying to go for a specific look, April? Well, I got a paper cut the other day, right there, and you can see the owie. It didn't feel too good. It happens, but not very often. And I think it's because the paper that we're working with is just thicker paper. Man, you guys are quick. Oh, look, I only have one more left. Yay. Yeah, that's why it dries the hands out. The more you pick, the more you work with it. Now, if you work anywhere where you touch a lot of paper receipts that come out of those receipt machines, you should be wearing gloves. The receipt have forever toxins in them. What is it, PPE, something like that? Really bad for you. So if you're in retail or selling anything at all where you grab those paper receipts that come out, wear gloves. Make sure you wear like a glove on one of your hands, and that's the only hand you use to grab those receipts. Really, really bad for your body. And it's not something you would notice, physically right away. It's just later on you might develop, skin rashes or arthritis or something like that. Later on, that's just related to it. Okay, and that is my last signature on here. And this means we are near the end, pretty close near the end of this tutorial. I am going to stay on to decorate my journal, so you're more than welcome to do that. We're going to put the pocket in, and I'm going to decorate the journal. So you're welcome to stick around and decorate yours with me. But we're going to do the spine and put the pocket in. That'll be the last thing that we do, but once you have all your pages in, it should look like that. You are not that far behind, Ginny. Yes, bravo, we made the pocket earlier, but we have not put it in yet. So we need this pocket. It's going to go in the back. And that is going to be the sentiment pocket that everybody's going to be putting in their journals. So anyways, so let me know when you're done putting in your signatures. Is there anybody else other than Jeannie that needs a little extra time for the signatures? Which is fine because I have to go to the bathroom. So if anybody needs to go to the bathroom or any of that stuff, right now would be a good time. I am going to pause this live for a few seconds while I go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, that would be really cool. I'm going to post a waffle video for this journal. So after, when I post a waffle journal, actually in the posted live tutorial post that's on my wall, go in there and post a picture of the journal that you made. I love seeing them too, just like Dina. Everybody, we all like seeing them. One of your favorites you've done. I think it's really cool. It's fun. Fun, fun, fun. I need the glue. Come here, glue. Come here, glue. I have my giant tweezers. You've never made one with this many signatures? Just remember that it's okay, Candace. You can make it however you want. It doesn't have to be plain. You have to remember when you make something, it doesn't have to be exactly like I make it. It's just the mechanics of how to put it together is what you're doing, so you can make it all yours. And you can make it whatever kind of journal you want. I need another piece of cheese. Nosy Cozy, if you type in the paper spray on the YT, the tube, you can find my channel there. I should, if I'm able to upload it from the TikTok studio, I will be loading it on the YT because it is a 4-hour video. But anyways, and then you can fast forward to the parts that you need. So, is there anybody else that needs more time to sew in the signatures? Okay, Ginny. I believe you're making the pocket later, Ginny, right? So I'm going to move on to putting in the pocket while you finish your signatures up. Okay, so to put the pocket into your journal, you're going to keep it open. We're not gluing this shut yet. You're going to turn it around, and on this part we didn't decorate, we're going to put glue on this whole part. Make sure your string is not underneath there with the glue. And then you're going to place this. I don't have enough room on here. Here we go. You're going to place this down here at the bottom of your book. You want to make sure you're a little closer to the right side than you are the left. Make sure that you are also not on your score line here on the left. You want to make sure that because you want to make sure this goes in and our book opens and closes properly. And so when you're making sure this is straight, you're making sure this bottom part is straight because this is a 3D pocket. And you're just going to put that in there like that. And now you're going to close these two flaps. And you're going to put glue on both of these little flaps. And you're going to take your bone folder and we're going to flip this around sideways. And the reason we're doing this is so we can make sure when we close this, like this, that we can do it straight. So we want our bottom up and down straight. So you just want to check it, make sure you have that pushed up enough where your bottom's straight. And then you're going to go underneath with your bone folder to make sure your side and your edge is lined up with the side of that piece that comes down. And you just kind of push up to glue that on the inside. And then you do the same thing to the other side. Make sure your string is not getting glued to the inside of it. Just make sure that is straight. And come in with our bone folder in there to kind of get that on there and there, like that. And you have your pocket in. And now you just turn this. And that is your pocket. Very cute, huh? And now you can decorate the inside of this on your pages. You can put the months on each one of your signatures. You can put a different kind of a pocket over here. I have all kinds of pocket tutorials on my page. And you can decorate the front. But to do the spine, what you're going to do is you're going to cut out a piece of paper that is just slightly shorter than your 9-inch length here, and just slightly shorter than your 5-inch width. And we're going to do that right now. So I am going to go find a piece of paper that I'm going to use for this, that's going to go with my design. And I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to cut this down. So now that is going to go right over the top of that. So I am going to round my corners on this. And where's my other one? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where did it go? I spend more time looking for stuff than I do creating. Okay. Oh, that fell apart. Ugh. Okay. And then you can mark up the edges if you like. Very, very welcome for the tutorial, guys. After you mark up the edges, you'll glue the back of it really good. Oops, wait, I forgot. We want to take our bone folder, and on the back here, because we poked the holes from the inside out, we just want to kind of squish the hole marks so they're kind of flatter before we glue this on, because they're sticking out this way. We just want them to be kind of flatter before we glue this on. Okay, and you're going to glue the back of this. Super, super fun. And you want to glue this really, really good, especially on the edges. The edges are where we're going to glue it the most. And you can decorate this however you want. And we're going to see how far up we want this. We'll do it right there. And we're going to make it straight. And just glue your thing on, just like that. Oh, I think I didn't get glue on that side. And this is where I need the other tip on my glue. Okie dokie, Hannes. You're really welcome. Okay. And that is your side. Now, if you have one of these cool little things that you can put into the side here, you can certainly do that. You just go in, find your center. I'm going to eyeball my center on this. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to open this up and turn this page because it's right in between here. Hey, Delisha. And I'm going to go like this to kind of make that hole a little bigger. So I can put one of these little grab clip things in and decorate this journal for the next home videos. And I'm going to push that up like that. And there we go. Glue everywhere on this. Where's my eraser? Get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. Nope, it's not working. Okay, I put glue on the back of my little decorative pieces. Do you mean these? Do you mean the cardstock that goes on the outside? The blue is cardstock. The pages themselves are chipboard or bookboard. For the bookboard, I use anywhere from 1.7 to 2 millimeters. I like the 2 millimeters better. It goes by thickness. For the cardstock, I like using about 80 to 120, depending on what I'm doing. The thicker it is, the better it is, because your book will last longer if you're making it for one that lasts longer. Thank you, Annette. I'm trying to move this back so I don't look like I'm stepping on everybody who's there. Decorating it's probably the funnest part for me. I love decorating things. And then the other funnest part for me is to look at something and go, I need that. That's the other funnest part for me. I need that. That's okay. Well, that's good, Donna. For some reason, I get so quiet when I start decorating. No, that's not gonna work right there. Now, if you have a Cricut or a Sizzix or a printer, you can do what I'm doing right here. So if you use a printer, you just print it out on an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. Most printers will be able to handle a piece of cardstock that's 8.5 by 11. If you don't have one, you can cut down a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock to 8.5 by 11, run it through your printer with one of these pictures. You can get these off of Google, anywhere. Just download the picture, print it out, and then use your scissors to cut it out. If you have a Sizzix, you can just cut it out with your Sizzix. If you have a Cricut, you know how to use it. Most people know how to use Cricut. But you just print it out and download it. Many ways you can get these. You don't have to have the fancy machines to make the cool stuff. Thank you for the heart, me. Paper. Okay. 2020 shirts. I don't know if I like that. So I was using this paper pack, and I suppose not all paper goes together. A pretty paper pack. We're just going to make this a colorful delight. That is what we're going to do. I'm going to do those 3. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, the rest of them I'm not going to use. And what are we going to cut out for them? Cute little flowers. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Do I have any more? That's this one. Oh, we're so doing it. We're so doing it. And then we'll make another pocket for the inside. Oh, yes. We're going to make different size flowers. And then pockets for the inside. Oh, come on. Okay, got those 3. Where'd the flower go? Oh, there it is. And we'll get little ones. Little flowers and big flowers. And we'll get some more from this. Gosh, this is hard to press down. And we'll go. Oops. Don't want uneven flowers. And then we'll do these green flower ones. now we have a bunch of flowers to put all over our book. And all we have to do is mark up the edges. And that's going to take forever. Should I do it or should I not? Let's find out. I don't think it really matters, but I guess I'll do it. Oh, this is gonna be cute. Oh, you're gonna use them from the HL. I think I'm just gonna do the tips of the petals. Call it good. That should be good. That's what I was trying to go for with this. Did I succeed? I was looking at the paper going, oh, this is perfect. Okay, did I just do the two? Yeah, I just did the two. So look at the small one. Don't you love it? The Zon. The Zon finally did it. Hey, I got my chipboard last night at like 8 p. Oh, it was like more like 9. It was crazy. It was like 8 or 9 at night, and I finally got my chipboard. I was surprised. I was like, I'm gonna have to do the tutorial tomorrow using cardboard because I had no chipboard at all. This paper has glitter all over it. It's glittery, wonderful. Actually, if you want to pick up my one, where's the oil? This will work. That's a really good deal. I think we need some of this. Let's get the small ones. What's the heaviest? I think the cover is done. So now I'm going to turn it over here. And what do I want to do here? I'm going to use these scrap pieces up. Decorating for me is usually just, okay, we're going to do it this way. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing. Nope, we need to make it a little more angled. There we go. That should work. Still. And that's where I want it, right there. Okay. At the moment, the back cover just has that. I'm going to be adding flowers to the back of it. And then I'll be putting another pocket on the inside and the muds. And some ribbon and a charm. And I will be posting a video later today because I'm going to do my first waffle with it. I've never done a waffle before, but people keep telling me I should try them, so I am going to try a waffle. I'm totally trying to make this an 80s thing, if you can tell. Hard to ink up that side, but that's okay. Not a huge problem. There we go. I'm still unsure how I'm able to do that with shaky hands. It surprises me when I'm able to do that. Whoops, didn't mean to take you across the screen. If it's 110 pounds, that means you bought cardstock, not chipboard or bookboard. bookboard and chipboard is usually measured by its thickness, not its weight. As where cardstock is measured by its weight. Okay. It sticks differently on top of these things. It says chipboard. Is it thin? Becca, this is a 2026 calendar journal. And the purpose of this one is for you to keep track of whatever goals it is you're trying to, or New Year's resolutions, or whatever goals you're trying to accomplish this year. That's the purpose of this journal. So I'll show you it. It has your 2026, and you have 13 signatures in here. So this one I did as a rainbow. So your first signature would be for January, and you have 4 pages for each signature. Your first page, you would decorate the front, and then on the back, you would write down whatever you're trying to accomplish. Use it a calendar, Bible study book, goals, set goals, however one wants to use the book. And then on your 13th one, when you get to your last calendar, because every week that you do this, you're going to write a sentiment to yourself and put it in your sentiment pocket. That is a 3D pocket on the back. And at the end of the year, you're going to take all those out and you use it to go over your year. And so your 13th 4 pages is for your yearly recap. And then there'll be a pocket on this side as well. But I am decorating the whole thing right now, getting it all nice and cute, and getting little pieces of glue off of it here and there because I am going to waffle this one off. But that is the purpose of the journal. And I'm kind of decorating it and setting it up in a 70s and 80s kind of look. Oh, and I'm going to add the months on each of the signatures on the front. Thank you. And everybody, well, not everybody here, but a lot of people here participated in making it because I did a tutorial for it. I use Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. It does not warp your pages. It is non-toxic. It dries clear. It holds really well. It lasts for a very long time. It seems pricey, but for the amount of glue you actually use, because it lasts forever, it actually is pretty much the same in price with your other pricey glues. But really good glue. I love it. I use it for everything. It is pinned on this live, so you can check it out. It's in my showroom. There is a 2-ounce bottle pinned, and then the other one. I recommend you start out with the 2-ounce. Try it out. See if you like it. If you're messy like I am, you get glue all over yourself. The other ones that are on the market are really bad for you to get all over your skin. They're actually toxic. I love the glue. It is great, great glue. Now, I do have the toxic glue on hand because I do use it to glue like thick fabrics down, metal pieces, things like that. But I try not to use that glue as often as possible because it is toxic. Okay, I think that side is good until I now we will do this side. Is anybody else decorating their journal right now? That's a good idea, April. But I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't want to take up any creative space for people. I might do that on the inside of the white pages in the middle. That would be kind of cool. Or I could find out what week those holidays are and do one for the prospective week. That would be kind of cool. Oh, you're going to decorate what you can. How long do you have to wait for glue to come, Ginny? Stay. 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 I said stay. Oh, that stinks. I always try to make sure I have the refill bottle. And once that gets low, I order another one because, oh my goodness, sitting here with an unfinished project, it's like my arch nemesis. It screams at me while I'm sleeping at night. Literally, it's the rudest thing on the planet. Makes it so I can't sleep. Okay, now we got the tiny ones on. I'm just going to do like 3 of these and be done with the back cover. Oh, I forgot to look up the edges on that one. Here, I'll put it back. And I'll cut this one right here to break up the color scheme. And one more at the top. And then we'll get done with this one on the back. And I think the back is done. Now we need a nice big pocket. These are going to be for the inside. I am going to lay down this so this book does not get a bunch of cardboard. I'm going to make a pocket for in here. Okay, cut this down. Hey, Sunny, happy Saturday to you too. Okay. Oh, that's awesome, Gilston. Hey, Lale, or Lalai. Sorry, I was saying that wrong. They are super fun to make. So on my YT channel, I should hopefully have the recording of it on there. So you can go follow that. Just type in the paper sprite. You know, put this out. I didn't measure it properly. I'm a dork. I'm a dork. Okay. Mark it, mark it big. Mark it, mark it, mark it big. Okay, now that'll fit just perfect right there. Maybe I should do it going this way. What do you think, guys? Should I do it going this way or this way? If I do it going the other way, I just have to use the opposite directions and like that. This way or the other way? I think we'll go this way. This way will probably look best. Yep, that's the way we're gonna do it. That's the way we're gonna do it. And we're gonna turn this around so we can see where we're at. I don't think I want that on there. Okay, we're gonna fix that real quick. Super easy fix. We just go like this. I don't like that. There we go. Now we can decorate this pocket. And where's that paper? Intricate cutting. On my in my showroom, actually, I'll pin that right here for you, Donna. It's actually a pretty good price too when compared to other places. See, it's craft cutting tool. I will pin it there. That one's pinned to the live. Don't know where you find it. I think next to the left of where you type, there's a little shopping bag. You can click there too. It's the orange cutter. Takes a little while to figure out how to use it, but it is something that once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty easy. Where did I get the colorful paper? This colorful paper is it's called the Glitter Stack. I got it in a pack of paper from a haul, but it's the Glitter Stack, and it's DCWV is the brand. Bring this up just slightly, bring it around. Actually, I don't want to do that. That will mark up my pocket. Where's my other pen? Let me use this one. Very, very welcome. And let's make sure. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. This and our Daubber. I'm going to Google and see if I can get it in Canada. This has glitter on it. It has all kinds of different They have different sizes of paper, but it's super cute. I love it for decorating pockets and things like that. Dina, I think I'm a hoarder. If you're selling anything, let me know. Things that are shippable, I should say, easily shipped. When we moved here, I sold everything. So that came out wrong. When we moved here, I sold almost everything. The only thing I kept when we moved here is the furniture that we have in this house right now and our TV. Otherwise, I sold everything. This house is only 1,700 square feet. Our other house that we sold was 3,000 square feet. It was huge. And I sold 99% of everything we owned. Well, I wouldn't say 99%. I sold a good 80% of the crap that we had. We had 2 couch sets. We had an entertainment room that had its own couch set where my husband sat and watched his TV, so I didn't have to listen to it because we didn't put a TV in the living room. I did not like the look of that, and I don't watch TV. So now that it's in the living room here, it's annoying the crap out of me. Shit. I put glue on the wrong side of that, so we are gluing this in this way. Damn it. Life is not over. Yes, it is over. No, we can't. Damn it, now we have glue all over. Boo, 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 boo. It still looks okay. We'll fix it with decorations. Decor will make it all okay. Aw, how sweet, Donna. I don't have Siri on for that reason. I don't like Siri. She is not my friend. You can turn her off, if you want to turn her off. You don't have to have her on. Yeah, I don't have Alexa either. Hey, Catherine. How are you doing today, my friend? Well, we actually finished the tutorial, and I said that I was going to finish decorating this, and if they wanted to stay and decorate theirs, they could, and everybody could watch. And when I'm done doing this one, I'm going to post a video later because I'm going to waffle this one off. And my feet are swelling up. So when I get off of here, I'm going to pretend to exercise in my workout room for like 5 seconds and then go sit down again. No, I'm just kidding. Totally joking. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I think that's good. It's right there. Yes, that is good. Now, turn this. See, these pins come in handy for this glue. The signature, like that. Okay. Awesome. I will definitely do that, Catherine, because there's a lot of people that want to do this journal that I directed towards YT if I'm able to download it there after. And I'm pretty sure I will, because how long does it take to download this? It's 4, 5, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 5.5 hours long. Will it let me download this whole thing? Crap, will my phone hold that much? You know, download it on my computer. Of course, at the end, I did say you can decorate this, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, maybe I'll just stop it right there and then not download the entire thing from TikTok. Am I out of green? Oh, I got one green left. Perfect. Later, Jenny. Very welcome. Okay. And now months on the signature, and then we're good to go. Get off there, glue. Get off of that. Oh, yes. Okay, so the months in the calendar. Let's see, where's my book? Okay, and in my book, Clip and Stick, we have these. That's the months of the calendar. And we can rip this out and put it on one on each month. And I think, let's see, I have an oval. Where's my oval? Oh yeah, this should work. You're very welcome, Karen. That's what it said. Dina, did I not read that right? I thought that's what it said. Oh, that's too big. Darn it. Well, that's... You're supposed to be packing. Oh, you guys are so funny. You crack me up. Okay. Let's see if I can at least get the month in here. Oh, yes. I can do this. Better. January. February. March. Oh, thank you. April, May, June, July, August. Oh, and then September might not fit. September. Barely. Hopefully the other ones are okay. October. Oh man, look at that. November. December. What do we got here? Where is January? There's January. Put the months down here in the corner. corners. I think that'll be cute too. January. February. March. April. May. June. July. August. I was hoping that the colors would alternate for every single month, but we don't get that lucky. September. I like how October ended up being purple. It goes along with the Halloween thing, the Halloween colors. And November. And December. And you have recap. Okay, now we do ribbon, and then we are done with the book. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I wonder if I have any charms that will look cute on this. I don't know if I do. I'll have to look. Okay, we need some blue. And pink. I think I need a little darker pink. Actually, I'll use this pink. Maybe a little white, but that's okay. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, we need yellow or something. Do I have yellow? Let's see, what do I have? Oh, this is a darker pink. I like this one. Yeah, we're going to use this one instead. Actually, we'll just use this one as well. Okay, let's see. Do I have yellow? No, I don't have yellow. But I do have peach. That'll work. That'll work, that'll work. What else do we have here? Oh, this will work too, right here. Oh yeah, we'll use this. We've got our ribbon colors down. We're one step closer to being finished. Woohoo! Okay. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Let's see if this is too much ribbon. This might be a little too much ribbon, but we'll see. This was all the colors I have. I got some that's coming. I ordered some that's not here yet, so that kind of sucks. Why do I always cut this so long? I need to measure it before I do this. Okay. Now, I do hope that everybody who did come along for the ride to make this journal enjoyed making this journal. I know I did. It was super fun to make. And it is a journal with a purpose. So I am going to make a video in a minute, put this on for a waffle, explain how it works, and see if spaces fill up. I've never done a waffle before, so we'll see what happens. One second, my love. 1 second. Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed watching it. Okay, that one's just tad too. You want to go out there? Okay. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Mommy, open the door for you. Go. Oh my goodness, walk around the box, Boomer. I swear that dog acts like he's so spoiled. So spoiled. Stares at this box that's in front of his left leg, but he's got 3 feet on the other side of the box. And he just stares at you like, the box is in my left leg's way. It's so funny. Okay, let's see what charms we can put on here that will go with this. If I even have any charms that go with it. I think we're going to do a heart. That should go with it. Then do a couple little hearts. And oh, I'll do this little owl. I don't think the owl will go with it, but it's cute. It's cute anyways. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's see. Where is... Oh. Okay. And then we have to put a closing system on this. So I'm going to have to put... I almost forgot about that. We need to be able to close the journal. Yes, close the journal. I want the owl at the top. And I'll put a few little charms on here. They're so cute, little charms. With an owl on top. There we go. 2026. You're done with yours. That's awesome. Okay, let's see. What am I going to do for this? Let's see, where did my little box go? What did I do with that little box? I have a box and I put a bunch of stuff in. Did I put it? Oh, there it is. It is over here. I believe there is a key in this box that I would like to add instead of the owl. I'm not sure if it's in there or not. There's a bunch of magnets in there, so it could be in this mess. What a mess. Look at that mess. I do need this. A lot of safety pins. I don't think the key is in there. Well, that stinks. I thought that would be really cool to use. Oh. Okay. I found this at a thrift store. It had a bunch of really pretty stationery that went with this in it. That had this really pretty, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. It's also a music box, so I grabbed it to put little things in. Okay. Yeah, I'll just leave the owl. Okay, guys, now I gotta put these in, and I should have put them in before I decorated the front, but that's okay. Do this right there. What the hell is his problem? He wants his daddy. That is his problem. He's standing at the back door whining for daddy. Poor baby wants his daddy. Okay, we are going to hammer away with this. I'm doing good, Maliki. And when I'm done putting these two things in, which I'm only going to use one piece of ribbon, I think I'm going to use purple. It's going to be loud. Close those ears. I think I bent my thing. Good luck getting that out of there. Might be stuck for life. Oh, there it goes. I just undid it, so it's not stuck for life. It's not stuck for life. Probably because I wasn't done properly. But this works, so that's why I'm doing it. Ta-da. Okay, let me just close this. Mark where we are. This is erasable ink, just so you know. Make this farther away. I get open on the enough to reset. I'll get it in a second. The other pin. Nobody's cut themselves on that. Okay, and we will be done after this. And Boomer will be so excited that we will be done after this. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. I'm not sure what my next journal will be, but I'm still working on that other flower one that I will probably work on later tonight after I get some cleaning done. But anyways, we are done. I will make a video with this. I hope to see everybody else's journals that they made on the link for the live today. That would be really cool. I love seeing how creative everybody can be. It is great to watch. I do hope you guys enjoyed making what you made today, or watching. If you didn't make it and you just watched, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will be doing another one, and maybe I will take a poll on what kind of journal I should make next, and maybe that will be in the next one. But it will definitely be fun and enjoyable. So I hope everybody has a blessed day. April, I probably will be. I get bored after a while, so, but I do need to walk around, get these feet moving. I got fluid filling up in them. Then again, I do have a pair of tight socks on, which doesn't help my fluid buildup. But anyways, I do need to do a video for this, so I'll be doing that before I go and get some stuff done. But anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed afternoon. I will see you all this evening, most likely, or some of you. And thank you for coming. I hope you had fun. You're very welcome, everyone.